White Zombie was a 1932 black and white horror monster movie starring Bela Lugosi. I've been going through a series of his old films recently, some of his non-Dracula movies, and I really enjoyed this one. You know, it's not perfect, but it's got an amazing, creepy atmosphere. And Bela Lugosi is just amazing in this film, with a crazy widow's peak, his unibrow, and his Fu Manchu mustache and beard. I mean, he's just great in this film. And throughout it, he's got this crazy hypnotizing stare, often right at the camera, you know. And I believe this film from 1932 represents the first actual full-length zombie movie. So this is the granddaddy of them all. Many parts of this film that are just beautifully made. Notably, the graveyard sequences with that hazy black and white, the tombstones, the sound of frogs chirping, and so on. And I also love how these zombies aren't really like the gory, decaying flesh, you know, detached arms and jaws and stuff. Not that variety of gory zombie, but more just creepy, sauntering zombie characters with like the dark eyes and the vacant stares, and they just kind of stagger around and moan. And you know, they even kind of leave you wondering, are we really dealing with the undead, or are these just people under a mystical trance or something like that? So the story is basically that the character, Madeline Short, who's played here by Madge Bellamy, she's going to get married to the character Neil Parker, played by John Herron, and they go to stay at the house of this wealthy plantation owner, Charles Beaumont, played by Robert Fraser. So this plantation owner guy, Charles, he's secretly in love with Madeline. So you know that's not going to end well. So he goes to meet with Bela Lugosi's character. His name, if I'm pronouncing it right, was Murder Legendray. I love it. And he's this evil voodoo master. I mean, what an awesome name, Murder Legendray. Anyhow, so this character, Murder, runs a local sugar mill. And it's not just your average sugar mill, it's one that's staffed entirely by zombies. Because, you know, why not? And I love the sounds of this place in the movie. You know, you watch as these zombies, they're working in this mill, they're staggering around, they're carrying these baskets of sugar cane, and they drop it in this massive grinder that just makes this creepy sound effect. In fact, this film is packed with disturbing and creepy noises, like that vulture screeching sound. I mean, it's like a human screaming. I mean, come on, I live in South Florida, and there's buzzards and vultures all the time, you know, that eat roadkill and stuff, but I have never heard them scream like they do here in this movie. Anyhow, Murder gives Charles a secret zombie potion that will kill Madeline. So he sneaks it and gives it to her in a drink, and shortly after she's married to the character Neil, she up and dies. And they have her funeral, and Murder and Charles enter Madeline's tomb later at night and bring her back as a reanimated zombie. So she's at Charles' house now, but she's in this like zombie trance. She's got the blackened eyes and this, you know, voided expression and so on. But strangely, she can still play the piano really well. And that was odd. But at any point, this is the point of the film where Charles, he starts to realize he's made a mistake, and he tells Murder he wants to bring her back to life again. But he's not having any of it. Come on, he's this evil voodoo master. And in fact, he drugs Charles. And he, too, starts growing kind of slow and lethargic. So the character Neil is, of course, upset, and he sees visions of Madeline. He sees that her tomb is empty, so he meets up with the local missionary, Dr. Bruner, and they head to Murder's castle, this big, creepy, cliffside place off by the ocean. And Murder sees that Neil has arrived, and he orders Madeline to go and kill him with a knife. But Bruner the missionary stops her, and then she just kind of staggers away, still in her trance. Neil chases her, and then murder and the zombies all sort of converge on them, on this kind of ledge up above the cliff and the ocean. And, I don't want to give much more away. You have to see for yourself how everything works out. And I have to admit, again, this was a fun early zombie movie. I'm not really a big fan of the zombie genre per se, but this one was fine. And it's not particularly gory, but it does succeed in being very creepy at times, particularly those screaming birds, and also that scene when the old butler is carried off by the zombies. Man, that was creepy too. The sets look great, particularly the segment where it was this creepy stone staircase with like a channel of water below. I know they reused some of the sets for this film, so I have a feeling I've probably seen some of these before in another old, maybe Universal monster movie or two. But in any case, the filming's great, and I love the scenery and how they build it. And there's a clever use of wipes in the film as well, and even they do a split screen at one point when Neil has his vision of Madeline. I thought that was pretty cool for, the 1930s. And again, Bela Lugosi is fantastic in this film with that crazy hypnotizing stare. And he's really the star here, but, the entire cast was good. And this was a fun, creepy old movie, and it's worth checking out.